God damn, I'm so fucking tired of presents and cookies and bullshit.
SCU. You are now listening to Shattercast Uncut. Prepare to be shattered with your hosts, Matt Baldwin, Skullface, Greg for Mercy, Oscar NJ Boy, T2RX6, Mega 81. Welcome to Shattercast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shattercast Uncut, episode 50. Shattercast Uncut. That's right, Shattercast Uncut. It is your favorite podcast.
I like it.
You know it's true. You know it's true. It was said by you before in one of the status updates on our Facebook page. And we are 50. We are no longer in the forest, and we're starting to lose our hair, but it's okay. We've eaten dog and decided that the only way we ever felt like a real Highlander was after we ate our chocolate lab, which tasted nothing like chocolate whatsoever. I'm your host, Oscar Alonso, and of course we are down two of the infamous Sinister Six. They are working. Well, Matthew's probably working while Greg is out there fighting crime as Birdman. Joining me tonight, as always, is everyone's favorite individual that you've known. You've basically seen his bare ass crawling out of your window at 4 o'clock in the morning. And even though he just got penile reduction surgery, he's still a lot bigger than a lot of us. Everyone's favorite, one and only Mr. Mega 81, Antoine Lewis.
What's going on, people? How y'all doing? Merry Christmas from Temptation. I was saving that.
Yeah, that was legitimately funny. I was just talking to somebody at work recently about the Soul Christmas CD with the fucking Rudolph song. Isn't one of the Temptations did the Rudolph song too?
Yeah.
Had a very shiny nose. I love it at the end. Come on, Rudolph. Come on, light my sleigh. Love it.
Oh, light my sleigh. I'm not thinking about him flying him anywhere.
It's God. Sorry.
And of course, right after him, he is our most reputable YouTube reviewer who loses his reputability after every episode, but he doesn't give a shit. He's the guy who hung out in the bushes and gave the infamous kill shot to King Jong-un in the movie The Interview, the one, the only, and he's the guy responsible for hacking Sony, Mr. T2RX6 Justin.
Man, every day my list of accomplishments gets bigger and bigger. I have
know,
no idea.
It's getting harder to think them up. I mean, they really happen. They totally really happened. And, of course, he is back, and he is relieving hosting duties for the time being until Bright House Cable internet shits on me again. He is everyone's favorite balding Dennis Leary, Louis C.K. fanatic love child with a side of Dennis Miller, the one, the only Mr. Bobby Skullface.
Good evening. I had to take a moment and address Matthew Baldwin, Mr. Deluxe, who
dress Matthew Baldwin? Is that what you
address.
Dress him?
Yeah. Because he was speaking pretty recklessly last episode about my Tetra Jets when I was not there to defend them. So, Matthew Baldwin, here's my challenge to you. You can think of it as like an ice bucket challenge. Every time you mention my Tetra Jets and I'm not on the show to defend them, you have to eat one whole vegetable.
That'll never happen.
No ranch dressing. No creamy sauce.
Oh, what about honey mustard, man? Hell has
whole raw vegetable all to yourself.
A cucumber, so your blood sugar stays low.
Stalk of celery.
Stalk of celery. You tell him stalk of celery, he's gonna sit there just like hang out in the corner of his kitchen, just looking at it, going, "Does it save me?"
He's gonna look at it like, "Fuck that! I just ain't gonna mention them Tetra Jets no more."
maybe I need to power up as Hasbrotron and take care of this the right way. Hell, Hasbro. But as always, you guys can go ahead and check us out for some t-shirts, hoodies, bumper stickers, and magnets. Magnets. Know somebody with a pacemaker? Fuck with them. Buy them a magnet. And get them to stand in front of a microwave oven with the magnet. And they will become bionic.
Wear it underneath your shirt and lay down on an enemy's computer.
Are you a big fan of the Pirate Bay and afraid that the FBI is going to come and kick in your door? Have the magnet handy.
Exactly. Yeah. As soon as you yell, "You won't take me alive!" you just slap that bitch on top of your laptop. All problems solved.
That shit has the same magnetic power that the big one had in Roger Rabbit that he pulled out.
Yeah, let's say it'll rip fillings right out of your teeth if you ever had them.
Get in a drive-by shooting and have bullet holes in your car? Patch them up with the magnet.
That's right. That's right.
If you got like a little, instead of like the little dent popper tool, you can use the magnet.
Got a friend who basically paid up the $600 for a new iPhone 6. Slap that iPhone 6 with the magnet and look at the colors.
Done deal.
A lot of things you can do with magnets.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and tie them to your arms, and guess what? Now you're Magneto. And everyone wants to be like you.
And we will not tell your secret. We will not tell that you do not have mutant powers. You're just using an oversized refrigerator magnet.
And you can always show them how much your mutant powers work by standing in front of the doors at a Walmart and just moving your hand going, open. And they'll open on their own and just go, there you go. See, I'm Magneto. So let's go to show notes. Oh, you know what? Fuck that. We were talking about Thug Life. We're not going to go by show notes today. It's just a bullshit session.
Yeah. But that's did anybody get anything? We can at least start bullshitting.
Well, I got one thing, and that's the Generation Skybite. It's okay.
Oh my god, would you come in third place in the contest?
Yeah. He had to wait more than an hour at the sperm bank. That's what they gave him.
It's like a participation award, that fucking thing. Thanks for showing up. Here's your Skybite.
Like, Antoine's like, I'll never come here again, motherfucker. And he teleports away.
Oh god, I'm so glad I didn't get that as a Christmas gift. What else did you get, Antoine? Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Just had that $20 burn a hole in your pocket, huh?
Yeah, let's say, yeah. I mean, I finally seen it and got it. It's like, well.
I saw it too. I walked past it. I walked past it for the first time just last week.
I walked past it, picked it up, looked at it, and said nope, and then put it back down.
I walked up to it, saw it, picked up, and I looked at it and I go, now look here, Skybite. You are not going to flick your Newport cigarette butts in my driveway. You and your menthol-ridden teeth. You're invited to my home, but that's just about it.
For sure.
And
I mean, I saw the Buster. I walked past it, and I said, you know what? I don't need that because I still have the Wobotron thing. I mean, the fan project one already. So.
See, that's the one that I think's actually good.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively speaking, of course, but
yeah,
of course. Sure.
What about you, T2? Did you get anything?
Well, I got some books.
Nice.
I gave one away.
You did.
I got nothing in return.
that piece of shit.
That's what we call a skull-faced Christmas. Welcome to my wife's life.
Knocked on his door. Hey, buddy, what's up? Merry Christmas. Thanks, man. Slams the door in his face. All right. Miss Skullface is like, who was at the door? Don't worry about it, babe. I got it.
Not a big deal. What else? So I did go over to old Skullface's house to do some filming. And I ended up finding, before I went there, the RID. Yes, I found that too. I found the RID Grimlock and the RID Strongarm. And I was like, great, we can rip these apart, but we didn't have enough time. Surprisingly, Grimlock's not bad. I think he's way better than that Voyager atrocity that came out, and Strongarm's a piece of crap. So.
Which Voyager? The Fall of Cybertron or the?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Fall of Cybertron.
We all know if they make an RID Grimlock that has push buttons and you hear him say phrases, it should say stuff like, I pity the fool. I need work. Let me get $20. I hate crack babies. Anyone got a Newport cigarette? Keeping it real, sucker.
Hey, boy. Looking mighty good in them jeans.
No, you ever seen that movie, Not Another Teen Movie, with Chris Evans?
Yeah.
It's like, I seen the way you slapped those guys in the locker room with that rolled up towel. Tell you kind of like that.
But you remember, wasn't it Delirious when he was doing that shit? Eddie Murphy was doing it. It was like, he was like, can you imagine, like, he was talking about, like, gay people or whatever. He was like, can you imagine if, like, some people, like, it's just hard to imagine them gay, like Mr. T, like, hey, boy, you're looking mighty good in them jeans. Why don't you come over here and let me break my dick off in your ass?
Of course, nothing beats the scene from Rocky 3. Hey, woman, you ever want to be with a real man? You don't talk to her like that. You come over here, I'll be with a real man. I'll tell you Apollo.
That's awesome.
Well, fucking Carl Weathers and fucking, what's his name, man? Billy D. Williams is sitting back drinking a Colt 45.
I love when Mr. T would pop up on the Howard Stern show and like be just super fucking ridiculous.
You ever hear him laugh? He's like, it's like who's tickling the fat kid with Down syndrome? Holy crap! That's Oscar Alonso at shattercastonline@gmail.com for all your hate mail. Thank you.
God, I missed this.
So yeah, good stuff with that, Mr. T Grimlock. I need work. Grimlock could do a tampon commercial. When I get a heavy flow day, I just use Tampax, transform and shit out.
Cybertron.
Ain't no time for that jibber jabber, Cybertron.
I ain't playing no T-Rex. Ain't from fucking uptown.
My T-Rex from the hood, sucker. You hear like I can see him doing voice acting. Mr. T, if you be so kind to not wear all the jewelry.
I pity the
recording. Don't ever tell Mr. T what to do when I get up in there. they stop recording. Okay, thanks for your time, Mr. T. He walks away. God, I am so tired. I just need a latte. Just one latte. I pity the fool, and I'm the fool because I don't have a latte.
Pity the fool. I pity the fool. Call me a sucker.
I just love for him to curse. One day, just, in that Mr. T voice, just sit there, just be like, "You see that new Transformers RRD cartoon? Yes, sir, I saw it. That's some bullshit right there, motherfucker. I'll take that right now."
Oh, wow.
That's Oscar Alonso, upstart voice actor.
Welcome to Oscar.
Yeah.
I've always done Mr. T.
You did a whole bit of, you see that Age of Extinction movie? Got a robot in there looking like Sidney Poitier.
They call. Hold on, give me a second. I'll try to do it. This is exclusive for everyone listening. This is what happens when you do a show before Christmas. Hey sucker, you ever see that Age of Extinction movie? Well, yeah, I saw it. What'd you think of that lockdown? I thought it was kind of weird. Face turned into a gun, look a lot like Sidney Poitier, didn't he? I couldn't tell what to call him, lockdown or the substitute. With his big old forehead having looking motherfucking ass. Coming up in there shooting guns out of his mouth. Like a bitch.
Oh, brilliant. So, what else did you get, Justin?
Yeah, wow. That went off bad. I'm sorry, Justin.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh,
I got RC and Chromia. Meh.
Tell you kind of like that.
Yeah. It's like, I guess it's not bad for a classics collection. Like if that's your thing, but I was just holding it, like I was like, man, like this isn't. I was looking. I was like, this isn't a bad. These aren't bad figures, but I still don't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm holding them, and I'm like, I don't care about this. Why did I get this? This was dumb.
I haven't seen her at all, dude. My Toys R Us, it's pathetic because, like, Antoine's posting this shit. Fucking, you got fucking Matthew, of all people, who says, like, man, my Toys R Us Target don't got shit. Hey, I found all the new Legend things. And I'm like, I go to my Target, my Toys R Us, and it's like, I really want that fucking bombshell for to hang out with the, with the other guy I got here. No, nothing. What do we got? Oh, we still got the exclusive AOE toys. Great.
Yeah,
got some 3-step changers, and look, it's classic skids. Okay,
well, I ordered mine from HTS, so we don't have them around here either.
Yeah, I got my. It looks like I have to go that route if they're not out of stock, because scalpers and shit. But so we haven't. What's your first line on the feed there?
What, did you get anything?
No, dude, fucking broke. I'm like scratching pennies and selling other figures to get fucking TFC Hydrant because the wife fucking bought me warning line for my birthday in November.
Yeah.
In November, Justin. Fucking December.
I don't know.
You and Robert are gonna give me fucking aneurysm.
People keep saying on your Facebook page it's your birthday.
It's not my birthday. Shut up.
I just go ahead and wish you a happy birthday when I see people commenting.
You, Robert, and fucking John Long, you guys are killing me, but I love it though. But yeah, so she bought me warning line, and she knows I've been selling them. She's like, so you're still collecting these, right? I'm like, yeah, I still am. I'm just selling the ones that I can part with and make some extra money. Oh, okay, because you told me this is a whole set, right? I'm like, yeah. So you're gonna finish the set, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, hey, bet your fucking ass you gotta finish the set. You gotta fucking just made me drop $100 for a fucking toy. So I'm like, oh no, I'll finish it. So I'm gonna finish Prometheus. But it's like, God, Now you're $140 missed out on that early bird special, I guess.
Our first topic is customs. So first, let me ask: how many people here make customs?
I used to.
Okay, 1.
I do.
2.
Nope.
And
just for fun, for my own self.
Okay, so you do as well. Okay, and I'm working on Metroplex, which has been my first one, but it's definitely been a learning process. So they're talking about, like, for people that are wanting to get into customizing figures, what is your thought process on doing it, and what are the basics? Now, to me, there's and anybody can interject and fucking disagree if you'd like, but to me, there's like 2 different classes of fucking customizing. There's taking a figure and repainting it, which is one thing, and then there's fucking that other shit where you're
from scratch.
Well, yeah, or you're like using bits of this one and bits of that one, and but they work together and they still tab in together and all that kind of shit. Like that is beyond me at this point.
There's 3 levels of customizing according to most people.
Okay, go ahead.
Most of the time on eBay, you see people like custom transformer with repro labels. I'm like, yeah, totally not a custom, but okay.
Right. So anyway, I'll go first. I'm working on Metroplex. I've paint anyway. Like I've paint miniatures before, millions of them. But so I know my way around painting. But like I just wanted to like add some panel lining and some reds and some metallics to Metroplex, just to break up all that goddamn white. I'm talking about Generations Metroplex. And so I just went at it, and it's okay. But if I were to do it all over again, this is what I would suggest doing. If you're serious about doing it, break it down. Totally break it down. Like, remove the hands. It's okay to like keep the forearms. You got to take them apart anyway to get the hands out and shit. So if you want to just keep them apart, that's fine.
Unless it's like the newer generations where it's like a solid slab of plastic, in which case there's no point in breaking open the forearms.
Yeah, but if it's something where there's where you can tell there's like a pin or a screw, or you can add a little pressure and widen the joint to get like the hand popped out. Go that route. This was just what I would do. Like if I could do Metroplex all over again, which I guess I theoretically could. This is what I would do, and prime it. I would sand it down a little bit so that when you put it back together after you paint it, the layer of paint isn't going to scratch itself the fuck off, which would probably be pretty obnoxious. And that's just a matter of like trial and error, and then prime it. Use a good primer. Don't buy a bullshit primer. To me, primer is like the most important thing. And
I suggest what I used to use. I did that one time we all had Fake Busker on, and I wasn't here for the interview, but I was here for the aftermath. I repainted a Human Alliance Bumblebee in a red and black deco to be like a Deadpool transformer. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. And what I suggest people do is what I did was wipe that. I didn't take them apart. I took out maybe like 5 or 6 screws total just for the arms and legs. That's it. But what I did was basically I let them soak overnight in soap and whatever, the Pine Sol, whatever. Dry it off nice and dry. And the base I use was like this 99-cent can of paint you could buy at Walmart. It's just solid gray. It's a nice rough texture to it, and it helps whatever paint you put on top of it actually bond a lot better to the plastic.
Okay.
And it came out really well. So
I got you. I kind of go the opposite route. I buy a $15 bottle of primer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which is high.
I'm painting a car.
And I use Games Workshop's primer. And if you know anything about Games Workshop, they love to charge your arm and leg for fucking anything. But their primer is the best primer I've ever fucked with. And so I'll buy that primer. I'll use it. You just spray paint it, 6 inches away or so, light dusting back and forth, that kind of a movement, and then until you've got it covered. And then the nice thing about using a black primer is that you can use that as your panel lining, and you can just paint the in-between bits when you go to paint over it, and then the black is already applied. And then once you've got it painted, then put it together. And, in my opinion, with paint, you start the same way I do when I color. Like, you start with your mid, and then I do my highlights. I usually do 2 shades of highlights, and then I do 1 shade of shadows, sometimes 2, depending on the color. But and see, this gets fucked up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But okay, so let's say you're gonna do a red, right? So you buy like a flat red, and that's your mid, and then you would take like the top of the armor where it's like, you know, like cresting, and you would take that and you would paint a layer of like mid orange, you know, slightly watered down, just a thin layer, paint wise. And then on top of that, you would do a brighter orange for the top. And then any piece that's what do they call it? What's the word I'm looking for, Justin? Not that's not raised, but lowered. Starts with a D.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck me. Anyway, any piece that's lower, then you would take what you can buy. It's called a wash or an ink. Like you can buy red wash or red ink and paint, and it's like a super watery thing that naturally finds crevices on its own, and then you would paint like a layer there to like add the shadow in. And that's how I would go about it. I'm not a big fan of dry brushing myself. But dry brushing is when you take a paintbrush. Yeah, it's usually like a flat surface paintbrush. So you would, like, if it came to a point, you would cut the tip off and dip it in a little bit of paint, and then use a napkin and get all the visible paint off that you can see, and then just like paint willy-nilly on your figure, and it'll hit the highlights for you. But it also leaves streaks everywhere, which sometimes can look really cool because it can make it look weathered, but then other times it can make it look like a mess. So I don't personally use dry brushing, but that's how you do it.
Yeah, it depends what you want to do with it. It's also good for like mud effects and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could do it like a brown, like you could dry brush brown on their feet or something like that, or even like if you need snow, you could do white or whatever, you know. So I know that's pretty fucking lengthy, but that's my opinion. Does anyone want to go about their process?
I'm going to I echo most of what you say. Well, if you're getting started on it, you want to start somewhere. Start with some Hasbro toys because they're plentiful. You know, like buy that Bumblebee that sucks and make it look cool. That's number one. You know, don't start on something expensive until you're comfortable. And it's going to take practice, and you're going to throw things out. I mean, that's just...
I'm going to buy this Utopia. Make it a Titan.
Exactly.
Oh, I broke it.
I do not use the Game Workshop primer. I use it for white, because it's a bitch if you're trying to paint white or yellow or any other like really light color to use a black primer. It's just a pain. You're still there, right? There was a hum and... Yep. Okay, good. Anyway, so I don't use that. I use their Bone White for when I'm painting lighter colors, which, again, really good, high-quality primer. For blacks, I actually use, I believe it's Krylon, but you can find it at your Walmart. They actually have grill paint. It's a flat black paint, and it's actually pretty resistant to chipping and stuff. It's a high-heat paint for your grill, like outside, and it works wonders on figures as a primer. So, yeah, that's another option. It's pretty cheap. It's like $7 for the can of spray paint. And I love that stuff. So that's what I use personally for my primers for the most time. I don't know where to go from there. I mean, I hate using a brush. I can't stand using a brush as much as I can. So usually I got an airbrush a couple years ago. There's some relatively cheap ones out there that actually will do a pretty decent job for someone who's getting started onto airbrushes, like the whole set for like $110, $120, something like that, compressor and airbrush. Not super high quality, but your paint skills, like it literally using an airbrush has made me look like, you know, like a little kindergartner painting with my fingers to like actually being able to paint something that looks pretty good. Now, I don't tend to do all the shadows and shading. Like when I'm trying to do a full custom paint job, generally I'm trying to make it look like it's, you know, an off-the-shelf Hasbro toy with better paint apps to all the little things. So, right. You know, certainly if you are going to do the shadows and stuff, you pretty much kind of have to go for the brushes and the washes and stuff. But for those like primary, well, not primary colors, but you know, solid shade colors, I want to say. You know, airbrush is awesome, and then I usually I do the primer, then the airbrush, and then I pretty much fill in the details with a small brush. So, because not all colors are awesome. So,
Recessed was the word I was looking for.
When you said D, I was like, I have no idea what.
Yeah, that totally starts with a D.
Yeah.
You know what that makes you, Bobby? You know what that makes you? Makes you a fool, sucker. Learn to read, motherfucker. No. But I think everyone needs to know is when you partake this, especially if you're a first timer, it may not come out good. So don't get all emo and start fucking drinking yourself into a stupor and driving around a school zone. That's why you buy the cheap Bumblebees that are in, Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls or was it Kruger's? Is that where Mac has out there in fucking Arkansas? Whatever.
It is.
Kroger's?
Kroger's, yeah.
If you are getting into it specifically because you see people who do sell customs on eBay, you're doing it for entirely the wrong reason. Because chances are you are not going to be that person, and it's laughable. I have a save search on my computer to just, every day show me eBay Transformers customs, and the things that people put up there are like the biggest train wreck, and they're like, I want $90. I'm like, for that? Like, it looks like you dropped paint on it, and awesome. That's now Springer or whatever. You can't even tell what they're doing, but. So if that's your reason to do it, don't get into it.
Which, by the way, there are people that we once posted this photo on our Facebook page for this custom Defensor, and one person was trying to defend the price tag on this Action Master custom Defensor, which was what, $1,500.
Yep.
And I get it. It's art. You're fucking saying that to the right guy. All right, I fucking doodle in my spare time. So does fucking Skullface. All right, but we would have to have some brass balls of steel to sit there and ask somebody $1,500 for a combiner figure that doesn't really combine necessarily. It's just a bunch of permanent super glued attachments to a fucking what looks like cheaply made plastic, add-on. So
listen, man. I mean, I don't have kids. Bobby does. Kids love doing paintings and all that stuff. And when I have kids, I'll be happy to and pretend that I think it's the most amazing thing and I'll enjoy it, but I'm not going to pretend it's like the freaking Mona Lisa, and be like, let me sell this custom piece of art that my child made on, eBay because it rivals, anything ever made. Like, let's be realistic here.
JQ is actually taken to the pencil a little bit here recently.
Let me just say again, art can suck,
Oh, yeah.
So.
She just recently, I've been like, damn, look at you, she's picking things up that I don't, I wouldn't necessarily expect her to.
Mm-hmm.
SK on the other hand has been drawing pentagrams on the wall, so
there's
that.
And fighting vampires. So clearly, your daughter is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I would like to mention some customizers who I enjoy watching their work, and people have their certain personal opinions on them, but guys like Frenzy Rumble, Cheetah Miss Prime, Jin Saltome. Cheetah Miss Prime notorious for taking a figure that he'll buy and turning it and giving it more screen accurate color, or he just recently made a Pharma out of the Brainstorm figure. Which is from More Than Meets the Eye, which looks amazing, but
also notorious for taking your commission and then making 700 other figures before he even starts yours. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, really? Cheetamus too?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Xavier Cal is a hell of a customizer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've seen his stuff too. A hell of a job.
He did a Pharma recently too, out of what was it, Jetfire?
Oh, although not this isn't about Xavier Cal, but Justin mentioned something earlier about guys that looked like they did something where they just dropped a shitload of paint on a figure and walked away. Someone tried to make a Pharma out of the Armada Starscream Generations figure, and this guy posted, "Well, just pitch." He posted on eBay, he's like, "Pitch me an offer and I'll consider it." He wanted $60 for this figure that contains maybe 7 pounds of fucking globby white paint all over it. And I mean, he's doing it all wrong. It was dry brush gone wrong. It was okay, so dip the whole brush in and then fucking slap it on. All right. Hey, it's Pharma. Okay, $70. And it's just it's insane.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Selling your art is a fucking difficult thing, right? I sell my shit and I never call myself an artist. It just doesn't feel right. I'm not trying to express any fucking thing. I just like drawing cool cartoon characters and badass poses. And when I do commissions and stuff now, like I pretty much like we're starting at $50. Like it's got to be at least $50 just to make it worth it for me to just fucking put my pencil to paper and then fucking do all the scanning and just the fucking headache of all the bullshit involved. But like you know, it's fucking hard, man, because like you're like, you know, you don't know what people value your shit at, and like you know what your time is worth, and that's kind of how you had to go about it. I feel like is like I can't sell my product for the amount of time that I spend on it, because my product, even the best one, is nowhere near relatable to the amount of time it took to do it. You know, so like it would be unreasonable for me to charge somebody like thousands of dollars for a drawing that I did. Just say, well, yeah, but I mean, when you break it down, dude, it's only $6 an hour. Yeah, I know, but the finished product isn't $1,000 good. So like it has to be fucking appropriate. You know, so like my prints are usually 10 plus shipping, 11 by 14, and then I go pretty much up from there. And that to me seems reasonable. Now commissions is like a whole nother thing. Like, you know, it's a whole nother beast, and that's like negotiating. But my the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of these customizers, like Justin was talking about, like when they're doing this hell of a work, you know, they're obviously getting contacts left and right from wacky Transformer fans who, you know, got more money than sense. And if you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars for a customized figure, you gotta be careful, Mac. Like you can't just fucking, you know, leave that shit up to PayPal's 45 days and expect to be okay. Like it's not okay. Like you got to look into getting like a contract notarized.
Yeah, there's a very large chance that, I mean, I would say it's almost 99% guaranteed that person's not going to get anything done within the time period that you can actually file a PayPal claim.
Exactly. So. Exactly. And I would try to, with a customizer, I would try to go on a payment plan, you know, because I can tell you from the creative side of things, I always go COD. And the reason why I do that is because that's what motivates me to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But people that don't, what's their motivation? Yep. You know, they've got your money.
Yep.
So like I would say like, well, hey, well, how about like, you know, I'll pay you so much after this, pay you so much after this, pay you so much after this, break it down to 2 or 3 payments, 3 or 4 payments, 1 or 2 payments, you know, just so you're, you know, it's keeping that driving force, you know, because the last thing somebody wants to do is work on your shit after they've already got your money. I'm just being honest. Like when people pay me to do shit, my 100% motivation is based on that COD.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, be careful, as always. Let's move on. Oh, Antoine, how do you do customs?
Well, I did mine for fun. I took
what type of magic marker do you use?
No, I used the I used the painter's markers, whatever. Painter.
Oh, do you?
Pen. Yeah.
I went too fucking far off. All right. How do they work for you?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, I wasn't trying to be like too fancy or anything. I took a prime. I took a prime sound wave and turned it into sound blaster.
Okay.
And you know, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, I'd rather do the brush thing instead, but I just figured, yeah, why not try it out? See how it goes. But,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't recommend that at all, but. I mean, it's whatever, you know.
No, I got you, buddy. I got you. Yeah. And that might even be just, you know, if you know, I would say that's not a bad thing to do. Like if you had especially if you had a bullshit Legends figure or something and you just wanted to try, like, you know, what would this look like? You know, if you just wanted to screw around and say, okay, well, this color works, this color doesn't, and then fucking do it properly. Like I would say that's not a hateful idea.
I will say silver Sharpies are one of my favorite things to use to give some little detail to rims and other little places. So, you know,
what do you guys use for panel lining? What kind of pen?
I got that Gundam like
like a proper Gundam pen.
Yeah, I got. Well,
nice.
there's a flea market guy. The flea market up by me. There's a guy who it's a $1 a store price. So he has all this shit there, and like the first time I bought like the panel lining pens from him, it wasn't Gundam, it was like Fundum. It was like spelled wrong, totally fake. So like the shit like dried out after an hour of using it. So I was like, hey, do you have the real deal? It was like, I have the real deal. It's right over here. So like that cost me. We're normally on the internet like just for a set of these things, it's pretty pricey. But for him, because he gets it right off the fucking boat, it cost me about $10 for a pack. Like he hasn't had any in 2 months, which has really been frustrating. But I use the proper Gundam panel lighting, or you could actually use those inking sets you and I use, Bobby.
Yeah.
You can use that also. Pastel. Yep.
Yeah.
Which those are about $12 for a pack. So.
There's a lot of interesting things you can use for panel lining. I tend to, for the most part, use really thin down paint. It's easy.
Yeah, it's like inking it.
Yeah, and you just basically put your completely soaked brush on the line, and it does itself. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've tried that. It looks like poo.
Well, see, that's the thing. If you use an acrylic-based paint, and you really dilute it, it will fill the cracks, and then just take a Q-tip and rub off the excess, on either side of the line that you just touched, and it looks just fine.
Again, we talk about like get a cheap figure. Flea markets are your best friend for that when you want to try out new techniques and colors. So you never know what you'll find at a flea market, man.
Another panel liner that's pretty surprising is dry erase markers. They work pretty amazing. Yeah, as long as you're not putting it on paint. I've had some success with some paint spots, and other types of paint, it'll just absorb the actual marker. But yeah, dry erase, because like on a solid piece of plastic, super easy, just wipes right off. So you can coat the crap out of it, and yeah, it's awesome.
Nice. Okay, so the next bit of business was about repro labels, and we're all repro label fans here.
Yes.
But this was about the basically what are you looking for in a set, and what's a determining factor for you to buy a set, and when is it not needed, when is it needed, et cetera, et cetera.
Damn.
Well, right off the top of the bat, I can say for me personally, for figures that have any type of like emblems or something, we'll just take like Strong Arm. Assuming I liked that figure enough to actually I have to like the figure. That's number one.
Agreed.
If the figure I don't think is worth the repro labels, I won't buy it. Because that is essentially another $6, $10, $20 depending on the actual figure to put repro labels on it. So that has to be number one. I have to like the figure.
Right.
The second thing is Streetwise, PFC Streetwise does not look like a police officer to me. So that repro label's right there, had to go on. Right. I like the figure enough, and I need him to look like a cop. So that needs to go on. And then other than that, first part of things, it's really, does that add something? I'm breaking up now. We're good?
Yeah.
Yes?
No? Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, for other things, it has to be something that, when I see it, I feel my figure is missing it without it. So, and that's not any G1 tech detailing for me, personally.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I love it on my G1 stuff, but I don't
need it now.
Yeah, the modern figures do not need that shit. It makes them look goofy.
Yeah.
What about you,
that's me.
Alonzo? All right. Yeah, Oscar.
Well, let me ask you: do you feel it's necessary to put repro labels on masterpiece figures?
It's a case by case basis, right? So
yep.
I don't have a repro label set for Prime. I bought the repro label set for Prowl, and it was a total waste. I didn't look it over critically enough. I figured that there would be a police bit of business for Oregon or whatever the fuck that place was where the fucking ark landed.
Right.
And there wasn't, and I was like, what in the actual fuck? You know, and then there was like New York on it, and you know, I wouldn't put New York on it just because, like, if they had a Baltimore one, I would do that. You know, like if there was some home team kind of accessibility, I would do that. But you know, the options just didn't work for me, so it was a total waste of money for me. Yep. You know. Mm-hmm. But like, let me think. I'm trying to think if there's any like. If there was any masterpiece that I was like, yes, like, fuck yeah, I got these for this, and this fucking works like shit. I can't really think of any off the top of my head except for the fact that, like, I love the Repro label set for the cassette decks. Like the cassette, like for the masterpiece tapes, the cases for the tapes. Totally not necessary, you know, for your display. But now I'm getting more out of it because I have Repro labels on them. Like, I had those tape cases in the box of the masterpiece box in the fucking storage room, and when I got the labels, I got the fucking cassette boxes out, I put the labels on them, and now I have them stacked in a corner on a shelf. You know, so now I'm getting some displayability from a piece that I wouldn't have necessarily got it from. You know, to me, it's like it's a woman, right? Repro labels and toys is it's a metaphor for a woman. So like, if you have a woman, you know, or a man, ladies, for the one lady that's listening, it's just replace the him and her. Or if you're gay, I don't want anybody writing in all offended, whatever. Just fucking work it out, okay? You know what I'm getting at. So, if you have, let's say, like you're dating a bitch with big feet, like, you don't want to get her something to accentuate those feet. You want to get her something that would help hide those feet a little bit. Or you had a lady with ridiculously bad breath. You would want to get some fucking peppermints for that bitch. And that would be the defining factor. So like, there's sometimes there's very specific things. Like, it's like, okay, like, this toy has bad breath, and this fucking Repro label set has the fucking peppermint, so I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Anything else is a bonus as long as I get this peppermint in this bitch's mouth. Yeah,
for like my masterpiece again, I echo that same thing. Like, I got the prime ones. I liked the tech detailing in the trailer. The rest of it I didn't care about. I have side swipes, and that's purely because I prefer to have the actual, like, proper layout of taillights and such. That, to me, is important. Other things, not so much. Like, what else do you have? I don't think I'm going to pick any up for Bumblebee if they come out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how do you feel like when people display their masterpiece like G1 toys? Like,
they can do whatever they want with their collection.
Yeah, I mean, they spent their hard-earned money on it. They can, you know, chop it up into pieces and snort it up their nose. You know,
it's not hate or anything. It's not hate or anything. I'm just asking, like.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, you know, it comes down to that ancient old question of why are you getting a masterpiece? And like, for me, I'm trying to create the best representation of the cartoon character with my official Takara masterpiece line, right? But if there's a Repro label set that modernizes a bit without taking away from that retro cartoon look, I'm okay with accenting it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I would never do anything that took away from that cartoon look.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
I kind of tread the line. I mean, I generally am going for a toy, or the cartoon, I should say. But that doesn't mean that I don't let the toy stuff influence me from time to time. Like, I love the Bumblebee battle mask thing. Like, I have the two faces sitting right next to Bumblebee with the battle mask on him. Just because I like how it looks. It's just personal preference. Like, I know it's not how he looked in the show, but I like it. So, you know, I generally am trying to get what's show accurate, but that doesn't mean I haven't, you know, made up reasons that the cartoons or the toys were the way they were compared to the cartoon.
Yeah.
So that said, I won't be getting an Ironhide Sans face. That's not gonna happen.
Right? Oh, that'd be awesome. Like a big square.
You know, to be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised that somebody hasn't put out an Ironhide that can do that.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But like, the thing is, like, for me,
No, it wouldn't.
Like those G1 toys, like that G1, like that my G1 Bumblebee, like I hated that. Like as a kid, I got, because I didn't know Diaclone and all this fucking nonsense. I was just like, why did they screw this up so bad?
Of course.
It used to infuriate me. But then there's like some people that like, their connection is more to that, and I guess it's just interesting. But whatever. What about you, Oscar? What is your thought process with picking a Repro Label set?
Man, again, it depends. Like, I'm not obviously going to buy I'm not going to buy a Repro Label. I'm not going to buy a figure for the sake of the Repro Label set. Like, I'm buying the Repro Label set because I own the figure, I like it, but it wouldn't hurt to touch it up a bit. And there are times they've done sets that have been absolutely phenomenal, like for the Codex series, for the Headmaster series for Fans Projects. Those looked amazing. Okay, I mean, for Smart Robin and Codex, they look great. Like they got one for Weird Wolf, which was one of those sets where I scratched my head going, that is it's a little overboard.
Yeah.
I mean, for Fans Project Revolver, they have a set for that, which I didn't really jump on that quickly. It just didn't like appeal to me. But there's somewhere it's like, my Generation Springer. I love that figure, but when I saw the Repro Label set, I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's gonna do it up. And then the same thing for like Generations Drift, one of my favorite molds for the Generations line. Back in the day, we don't count today's line at all, but that set for Drift made him look more like a souped up fucking sports car. Besides the tired and played out TriStar rims, because remember how popular those were. For me again, Repro Labels appeal to me the same reason why the toys do. It's how they look. You know what I mean? It's all about visual. And some people go, well, you can't buy something because it's shiny. Well, why the fuck are you buying this shit, period? You don't know what kind of quality something's going to be. You don't watch certain reviewers anymore. Then you don't know, man. You're taking the ultimate gamble, I'm sorry, but you're not going to sell me on that. You buy things because they look nice. And Repro Labels enhance that appeal. I joke around talking about, like, if I ever did a commercial for Repro Labels, I'd be like, God, my Generation 1 Galvatron sure looks swell, but man, all the sticker wear. I wish I could just get the new stickers without paying an arm and a leg on eBay. And it comes an announcer, well, now you can, little Bobby, at reprolabels.com. And then, instantly you go right on ahead and then you slap these stickers back on there. And then, like I did for my G1 Predaking, that's all Repro labeled up. And it went from something that was nostalgic to something, to just owning the figure was nostalgic, to now applying the stickers, like back when I was a kid, was also very nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
So
giving
for
them
me,
to
it's
my
all.
dad to apply them was very nostalgic for me.
I mean, in the end, as shallow as this is going to sound, I buy it for looks. It's like what
absolutely.
what the fuck's the name of that fucking it's the guy that make kitchen sinks. Moen. You buy it for looks, and you buy it for life. I summed it up easily.
It's just, I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. That's why I've started reviewing them, because like I have gotten some sets where I'm like, ugh, I didn't need this shit. And then I've gotten other sets where I'm like, fuck, like, how did I have this figure without it?
Yeah,
like that Gumball being the perfect example. Like that went from a figure that I really liked to a figure that I really loved, like within an hour.
Absolutely. And there's sets like for Diesel, for Fans Projects, like that's a lot of shit to put on there. And it's just like sometimes that, because they don't come with directions. You have to go to the website and then either save the pictures of where they're supposed to go,
or try to decipher it.
Yeah, and try to figure it out on your own. And in which case, like for Fans Project Diesel, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna get it. But I got them for Breakdown and fucking T-Bone, whatever their names are.
Yep, I did too. And the Diesel was definitely the weak one of the set.
Yep. Drag strips was pretty good, and so was fucking Dead Ends. So.
But that shit for me is like a slippery.
By those names.
Right, it's like a slippery slope. Like after I got a few fucking sets in my basket, shit that I would normally pass on, I'm like, fuck it, I'll get this too. I'm already getting $10 worth. I might as well get 15. I'm already getting $15 worth. I might as well get 25. And on and on.
And then you sit there and you're just like, well, I could get some free clear labels if I get over $25. Yep. Okay, all right, And then you go and you turn into Matt. and then you fucking fill up your cart, and you're like, "Hey man, I got like $1,000 worth of repro labels." Hell,
Nobody said no room for vegetables in here.
Money bags.
Mr. Moneybags.
So I think that just about covers that bit of business. Our good friend Justin showed us a lot of love at TFCon. Justin L said it's been discussed by others before, but where the hell does G1 Optimus Prime's trailer go? From the G1. And for me, obviously, it's goofy, right? But for me, that was the first major. Transformers is a lot about accepting some shit. Okay, fuck it. He's huge, and then he transforms into a gun that fits in his partner's hand. Fuck it, I accept. I accept it. And I think that the trailer was the first time that you had to come to terms with this idea that, okay, sometimes shit just is the way it is. So I don't know if it was I'm just happy it's not Kibble hanging off his back.
So. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Roller pops out of the trailer and hitches it up and takes it away.
I'm okay with that.
Or goes to that same parallel universe your socks go to when you go to take your laundry out of the dryer.
Yeah.
And you're like, there was 2 of them in here.
I'll tell you, I could have used some more Roller in the G1.
Yeah.
He seemed like such a major player at first, and then that was it.
Before we move on to the next topic, when we're finished with this topic, let me know. Just let me know.
I'm ready when you are.
We're done with this topic already? Short topic?
Antoine, do you have anything you want to add about G Prime's trailer?
Where does it go? I said go somewhere. I don't know.
There it is.
It goes somewhere. So, before we go on with this topic, since we're talking about trailers, Antoine posted a picture of Ultra Magnus sans the trailer, the truck disconnected from the trailer. So, you see all of Ultra Magnus minus his body. How long do you think until we get some kind of third-party
upgrade
intervention?
Yeah.
The white robot will come to be.
That's a good term, Justin. I really do. I don't think we need to call them upgrade sets anymore, but interventions would be more appropriate. I really do. I really do.
I tell you what, the only thing, I love it. I love the way it's shaping up. My only issue is that goddamn butt flap.
Yep.
I can't.
Butt flap.
I cannot believe they did not.
Giggity.
I'm still not sold on the fact that there's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah, as soon as I get that figure, if that thing doesn't fold up somehow, the first thing I'm going to figure out how to do is how to knock out that pin, and that will be one of the pieces that when he is in robot mode sits in the box. So
butt flap.
Butt flaps.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's such a stupid piece to have exposed.
Sounds a lot like butt sex.
And it's just it's such a huge oversight that just doesn't seem right. I would have rather paid $20 extra bucks.
Yeah.
It seems like you wearing coattails or something.
Yeah. It's like he's got a butt cape.
It's an early warning signal for everyone to know whenever he farts once that thing just flaps up.
Yeah. But yeah, I did see that. Let's see what else here. We got our good friend Adam he's gone on a little rant, and it's long enough where I'm going to read it, so I don't lose anything. So case assortments have essentially sucked since the beginning of time. Like this latest reveal of the Shield, the last case of Prime Voyagers, how damn hard Skids was to find since he came at the end of the. Why is it damn impossible to get case assortments right? How do you think Chromie and RC will fare with Christmas? New Year, resets, a new cartoon, rebranding the Combiner Wars. Even money on Hasbro saying we won't get any more Fembots Heavy Waves due to that being the least ordered case of the year. Oh, okay. I promise something will be said at BotCon. Modern Toy Series to get it the worst, He-Man. Entire preview wave was He-Man and Skeletor. Entire wave 1 was He-Man. Entire wave 2 was He-Man and 1 Man-at-Arms. Wave 2 was He-Man with Bo and 1 Teela. KB never got past wave 3. Modern Toy Series to get case assortments the best. Nick TMT for an entire year, plus you could find the core cast and new characters. I agree with that. You have a 2-week window to find Transformer characters in my area before they are gone forever. How the hell is a kid supposed to get these? That's a good question, and a good sense of topic. And the truth is, I think that Hasbro, my point of view, like I talked to this guy that worked for Hasbro. He worked in the Star Wars department. And I talked to him it was either New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con. I can't remember which one. And he told me specifically that collector-driven lines are driven by the hunt.
That is bullshit. That's
and
like the most furious part of fucking collecting.
I know. And he said and he was talking about the Star Wars line, because that's what he works in. But he was implying that it was kind of the general food for thought. Like when they've done, that character that everybody wants that's not Optimus Prime or Bumblebee or Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or Spider-Man, and we've made it plentiful, it sits on the shelf forever. But when we put one in a case or one, two in a case or, all that kind of shit, we can't keep them we can't keep them in stock. And we know that the hunt is a driving force, so therefore it's fucking marketed and planned and produced that way. And it sucks. I think Transformers gets it the worst for some reason. Like it just seems like there's some characters that are just impossible to find, whereas like I can't go into a store without bumping into a fucking Armada Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say the same thing about goddamn Han Solo. Fucking Han Solo.
Oh my god, dude, he is everywhere down here.
Really? See, he's not plentiful here. Greedo, Leia, and fucking R2.
They had the fucking 2 packs of Han Solo and Guido. The fucking in my Toys R Us.
Oh, they do have those.
Yeah.
That's a price thing, though. That's a price point issue.
And then they have
what, the Rebels? Star Wars Rebels?
No, the 6-inch black line.
The 6-inch black line. Then of course they had Princess Leia in the outfit when she was Jabba the Hutt's fucking slave down here, and some targets and shit like that.
Yeah, that figure can't move because the fucking joints, every fucking joint on that figure you could see from space.
Yes. All I want is a freaking Boba Fett. I don't collect Star Wars much, like I used to. I don't anymore. I just want goddamn Black Label Boba Fett. Can't find him anywhere.
Oh, I'll keep my eye open, man. I wish I'd have known that. Like there were some at our Barnes and Noble.
Did you try HTS?
No, I haven't. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Boba Fett, man, like not for nothing, that's one of the best toys I bought this past year.
Yeah, I'm half tempted to just go out and get the eBay price on it because I just freaking want that figure, and I'm so like I was in Toys R Us the other day, and there had to have been 30 Han Solos and 1 Greedo, and that's all. That is all. Just freaking Han Solo. Oh, and the 2-pack of Han Solo and Greedo. So.
Yeah, we have those.
I got that. I got the fucking Jabba the Hutt figure in mine. I got fucking all this shit. And you know what's even worse? Because like I was telling some of these guys, like I've been slowly getting back into collecting, like because I opened up some of my old storage containers. I told Justin this last week. I got a bunch of Marvel Legends and DC figures and shit. And friggin' like so, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go out and check it out, see what the new, see what all the hubbub is out there in Toys R Us and shit. Because I've always stopped in the Transformers aisle, but like Marvel Legends have become smaller over time.
FYI, listeners, this is all code for butt plugs and adult stores.
Yes, that Justin is totally into. That they know him by name because
it's been getting smaller and smaller.
I think in some ways Marvel Legends have come leaps and bounds. Like
but sometimes they take a massive step backward, and I say that for DC's Mattel line with their total heroes. Which
holy shit balls! He's actually in stock at HDS. Jesus Christ, my days.
Yeah, buy him quickly. So so like their DC Total Heroes lines, these guys have nowhere near the amount of articulation as fucking any of the figures. The previous DC Universe Classics figures, as you have like fucking maybe the best one of that entire line I ever purchased was fucking Mr. Freeze. That was it because I never owned a Mr. Freeze. So I said, why the hell not? So it's like sometimes when you try to get into something else, it's a bitch. But like forever, it took me to find a Mr. Freeze because you had like 70 Supermen, 25 Batman. You either got the black and gray Batman or the blue Batman. That was the detective version that came with handcuffs that don't fit on anybody, you know, except in his hand. So,
but yeah, but just to get it back, like the fucking like. So what were the hard ones to find with DC stuff? Because that's a Mattel line.
Yep.
And Mattel had He-Man, and he was saying that was a bitch. Only He-Man I've ever bought was the originals when I was a kid, and then I got some of the classics.
Well,
like they have like a Black Friday sale.
Back when I would pick up back when I was collecting like all that stuff, before I'd like, oh, I'll divert all my funds to third-party Transformers, so I just stopped that shit. Fucking the hardest ones for the Mattel line were like, if you were lucky, you'd find a Superman versus He-Man 2-pack. I saw a lot of the He-Man shit in 2-packs. You know, and only once did I see like the shelves filled to the brim with the He-Man Classics line. That was during the Best Buy when they were on sale for like $5-10, depending on which Best Buy you went to. And there was a whole scalper ordeal because of that. And so
I would definitely say in the Star Wars line, it was the Stormtrooper, Darth Maul, and Boba Fett that were the hardest to come by. They didn't do it. They haven't done a Vader yet, right?
Yeah, they got a Vader too.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Oh,
My Toys R Us has like 4 of them.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I may have to go stock some for you there if you're interested, buddy.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a few Vaders out there.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Now I've seen the Biker Scout. He looks fucking awesome, but he's like $40. It's just like that's the thing. Like I was at Target the other day, and they had the TIE Fighter pilot, and there was another one that they had that I was thinking about getting. Luke from Jedi. And I was like, man, I want these. And I was like, if it was just one, I would have got it. But like, I had to get both if I was going to get one, right? And I was like, fucking $40 on 2. I just can't do that right now. I don't know why.
But man, that next Prometheus limb totally worth it.
Exactly. Or I'll fucking drop $100 on a Play Arts figure without a second thought.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, like, it's the Black Series makes good figures. I don't know, and like, I don't, you know. With the Stormtrooper, I kind of get it because like they're gonna reuse that mold 1,000 fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how it would be smart to kind of keep it scarce so you don't dry up the pool so soon. But with Boba Fett, man, like he's arguably like the most popular Star Wars character.
For some reason,
that's only because the motherfucker never spoke.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's why.
Why would you not give people more than one a case?
Yeah,
because we don't want to. We're Mattel.
And the sad thing is, like, going back to Transformers, where saying that the fembots didn't sell good. It's like, well, like, it's most retailers, you put out so much shit through the whole year, and this is your last case right before the new stuff starts. You know, like, this is the last case of whatever generation stuff before RID is officially in full swing. Of course they're not going to order it. You know, like, how did you base that as a good metric? Like, I think whoever is at Hasbro is pretty fucked up in the way they think. Like, what the last case really should be is, instead of new figures, it should just be a case of what was popular and, what there's a demand for. That's what it should be. Like, no new figures, because it's impossible to judge metrics based on,
right?
And AOE especially, it sat so long that I think, like, nobody wants to order anything else new that's not, a brand new media to support it. So.
Yep, exactly. Like the movies.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done. No, go ahead. It was a redundant point.
I was just going to say the one thing that's been nice about Hasbro, I don't give them a whole lot of slack, but every figure that I've looked for from Hasbro this year in the Transformers line, and I've gotten off HDS with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a nice. I mean, even last year, I had some issues with HTS, but this year, like, as soon as what the fuck did I get from there? Brainstorm went up. I grabbed that, no problem.
Yeah, I did too.
RC and Chromia, grabbed them, no problem. I don't know which other ones so I only got so many Hasbro figures this year from Transformers anyway. Some Marvel Legends I think I got from HTS, with no problem. Like it's been nice having that option. I wish they would keep. See, that's my thing. Why because I mean I know they say they're not officially Hasbro's toy store or whatever, but are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's buying that? I hope you're not selling that, because nobody's fucking buying that.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Gregors?
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Well, how are you?
Good. You guys are about to be in for a real-time live liquor run.
Nice.
Yeah, you get to hear me at the liquor store.
Of course, this is after Greg was done fighting crime as
Give me one of everything.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine Greg's trips to the liquor store go.
Me and Chip Chase had a full night.
Kind of like Matt's trip to White Castle.
I used to be able to walk, Greg. All right, I got you. I used to walk. Damn it.
Look, those are my legs, like I was once a man.
I just pissed myself again. Fuck. G.I. Joe the movie. What's up?
But like, I just, I don't understand. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to sell toys. Do you know what I mean? Like being a toy. I feel like I'm fucking Ian Malcolm on fucking Jurassic Park with the you do plan on having dinosaurs on your dinosaur ride, don't you? Like that's how I feel, dealing with that shit. But
did you ask yourself if you could, or if it's possible, or maybe perhaps if you should have dinosaurs on your dress?
Right.
Oh. Hair follicles.
But anyway, so I don't know if RC and Chromie have this wave. I can't imagine that it won't sell. Just because there's so many people that have been looking for an RC for so long, and there's been RCs on the market that are pricey RCs this year. I can't imagine that won't sell.
Yeah, but again, the problem is that the metric is not based off how well it sells in the store. It's how many stores actually buy the product.
Right.
So it's such a piss poor way of figuring out what people actually want and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm like, and that's the thing. They're like, well, Bumblebee sells. It's like, because that's all you fucking package in the first, 3 waves, Like, if you actually go to the goddamn store, all it is fucking Bumblebee until it gets clearanced out to Marshalls,
Ooh. Yeah. Ironically enough, I'm passing a Marshalls right now. I'm in the parking lot of them.
That's crazy.
So
get one of them shirts where the one sleeve's longer than the other. But yeah, I don't know. I wish we had more of an to talk about with. It's just it's frustrating. But I'm sure that a large variety is them trying to account for the quote unquote collector. I'm fucking sure of it. Let's see. Do you have any thoughts on it, Greg, since you're here now?
Well, I didn't hear the question. I got in.
On case assortments and tactics behind keeping figures scarce and, fucking 10 He-Man and 1 Teela in one case and fucking, et cetera, et cetera. But he did make a good point, though, where he was like the Nickelodeon the Turtles were packaged well, because it is true. Like, every time I go into a Turtle section, I see an abundance of, the obscure characters, and I always see the core characters as well.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, I think a lot of people could learn from the relaunch of Turtles. I know those things sell. I know that at times they get hard to find, but then, give the week, and everything is there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've said numerous times, sometimes I wish I collected Turtles instead of Transformers. It's a lot less frustrating. But
anyway. Any thoughts on this case assortment dilemma, Greg?
Well, I'll be honest, stuff like that's why I don't really buy a lot of retail anymore. And I've kind of jumped on the bandwagon where I just order stuff online. So, that really doesn't affect me. I see it. I see how, what was it with, what was his fucking name? The Combiner, the Fruticus.
Yeah.
And you're getting one of one member, and then you're getting a whole bunch of the other. I don't know. I just don't see why they wouldn't balance it out. a little bit better. I mean, if you're going to buy a fucking Optimus and a Bumblebee, you're probably going to want RC and Jazz too. You know what I mean? So why not put them all?
And especially with the Combiner Wars gimmick, and like in order to enjoy the character, you need them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really feel like they'd be shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, it's like they're doing with this new Combiner Wars set. They have basically the entire aerial bot team except for, oh, hey, we'll just throw in the drag strip.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say.
Fuck you, man. Alpha Bravo G1.
Yeah, that's right. That's me and Matt's favorite G1 character.
Yeah. I could listen to that argument for days.
Well, like Greg was saying, Greg.
Huh?
What you were saying?
Oh, I was going to say, like, I was going to say the same thing you did. Like, I don't fucking understand that shit at all. Like, if you're going to fucking go out, like, put them all in the case, it's not going to, like, what is the logic behind that? Like, it's just going to make fucking dragstrip harder to find when you get the rest of the fucking Stunicons. Well, I'm using air quotes here, Stunicons.
Philicons.
I guess they figured this.
Minosaur, because that doesn't look like Minosaur to me. But
not ammo.
That was the best ever. Because you couldn't help but read it in that voice.
Yeah. I need to find somebody who can put voice chips and shit. If I could get someone to put that voice chip in that fucking combiner, I would buy it.
Build-A-Bear.
Why did I just sit here and I heard you say that? I instantly pictured like this awesome 80s synthesizer music playing. You know, then, are you kids tired of regular old-time combiners? New Hasbro Minosaur! With new action phrases like, I am not ammo. And other phrases like, call my mama. I'm scared.
Get that goddamn plane off my arm.
Wow.
Well, anybody see my friend Dragstrip? Anybody see my leg?
Why do I have a pickup truck for a leg? Oh no.
Yeah, and then that, like, oh yeah, it's a pickup truck. It's obviously there so because the Alpha Bravo thing's like they're gonna recolor the blades. And they're like, whoa, the same thing with the pickup truck, it's just gonna be recolored. How many in a cup? I don't
right.
No.
Like,
Ironhide, dummy.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, who are they gonna recolor that into? Like, yeah, that's what I'm scared of. That's gonna be the fucking Ironhide.
It's gonna be a BotCon exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna tack on that weapon from Trail Cutter onto the back of the truck, and they're gonna call that Ratchet.
They'll color like the two pistols like red and blue. Oh no, look, it's an ambulance. Oh, see, those are the lights.
No, those are the cones he uses to land the emergency planes.
Yeah. That's oh, smoker's cough.
Yep. That'll do it.
Yeah, I got the best Generations Legends case assortment today. My case came with one Power Glide and one Optimus Prime pin. That was the best.
How do you like
that
Prime pin?
case? I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I've been playing with it all night. I might get the Nemesis one too. It just depends.
It's fucking awesome.
Well, because I was gonna get it to leave it at work, but I like it so much, like I don't mind. I mean, I don't want to leave it at work, and so now I feel like I should get a second one.
I need someone to come out and tell me where I can get some ink refills for the thing, because I desperately want to use it, but I don't want to use it if I can't have the ink. You know,
Have you tried?
I don't write that much.
Well, I have a job that I write a lot, Bobby.
Yeah,
so
I'm saying that's
you.
why I didn't even thought about it. Like I have like I'm like hoping a motherfucker will ask me to write some shit down. You know, like, hey, I need you to sign this check. I'm like, sweet.
The extent of my writing at work is putting a check mark on a line to verify an invoice for payment, and that's the perfect amount of writing to do with a pen like this. So
well, every time you guys do that, they're gonna be like, you know, did you have a stroke or something? Because my grandfather had one, and he had to use a big pencil just like that.
See, I was hoping that I could get it so I could specifically pull it out when I'm in an interview with an attorney and just be like, hang on a second, I gotta transform my pen. It's like, well, but my point, I need to transform the pen. I can't do anything if I can't write.
Are you listening to what I'm saying to you, Mr. Justin? At 1 second. Put the arm here, leg. Oh man, hold on. Let me pose him. Pow, badass.
I forget how to do this. Let me look up my video review on it. Hold on a second.
Well, I'm sitting here playing with the thing, like turning it back and forth, and there's some kids from the university. They work at the games, and they had something going on, and I could see them. These kids are like 15 years younger than me, and they're cutting me these weird glances. Like, is he playing? Is he got a toy? What's that guy doing? Like, just gotta get my pen ready to do some paperwork.
Let me go on to the next bit of business. So our good friend John Long asks or states, this is another long one, so I'll read it. He's not trying to attack the NYPD at the moment. With the recent reapplications of Mask and Visionaries trademarks, which is fucking awesome, by the way. Do you think we'll see new? Do you think? Yeah, you're right about that, I guess. Do you think we'll see new con exclusive theme crossover sets such as Mask and Transformers in the place of G.I. Joe Transformers? Hasbro made enough action figure vehicles that could be retooled as Mask Venom vehicles from the Joe line, or the Bruce Wayne Lambo from Dark Knight, which was the Thunderbolt Customs, the Matt Tracker vehicle, blah blah blah. Plus, Hasbro said that at the end of G.I. Joe would need something to fill the spot. Also, Andor, how many retools of Combiner Wars Voyager Prime do you think we'll see? Do you think the Leader Class Magnus, Ultra Magnus toy that was rumored to come out in 2015 will be part of the CW line, or strictly Generations besides the Leader Megs?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wait, the CW line, like
Combiner
like
Wars.
Arrow. Oh, they'll be like Arrow, the Flash, Ultra Magnus.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I guess I guess if they didn't renew it, they could lose it. So there might be a chance that they're still planning on doing nothing with it. But I would like for them, even like seeing those like Insecticon reissues. Like I would love to see some Mask reissues.
Yeah.
I think that the chances of that happening is probably slim to none. But I would love that. Especially like shit that like was towards the end that fucking nobody got, like the Gloria fucking figure with the white fucking Lambo. It's like $100 and up on eBay. I just can't fucking justify it, But I'd love to have that.
I'm more excited about the Visionaries side.
Visionaries.
No, wait,
that was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were two sets of figures that had like a similar gimmick. Those are the ones that had the bad guys that like they had like a cloak or something, and like the whole front was a monster or a human, right? Or was that part of another? Because I remember the Visionaries characters had like the big like flags and shields and shit, and they had like little stuff in their bodies. But I can't remember if those were part of that line or if it was something else. Because
you're right on the money. They came with like these big staffs had this like they say some sort of rhyme and it would make the animal creature come out, and then they would also have that same animal insignia like as a cool 3D hologram gimmick on their chest.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember where those bad guy characters are from. Because when I was a kid, they were super cool, and then I looked them up the other day and found them, and I forget. It was like one of those things I did like first thing in the morning. Like I got up in the night to use the bathroom, and I'm like fucking on my phone while I'm while I'm doing my night biz. But they were so cool when I was a kid. But looking back at them, I mean, they look stupid, like as hell. But
there was another.
Yeah,
line,
I'd love to see some shit like that.
There was another line, kind of like Visionaries. I can't remember what it was.
That's what I'm thinking of. Then.
Yeah, the one where like they were like all like skeletal armors and stuff like that, and like
you're in humanoids.
Yeah. Was it? No, I don't think so.
I remember that though.
Yeah.
I had a couple.
I remember there was this like red like Chevy Nova type vehicle that had like all kinds of crazy things going on. God, what was that line? I don't know what it was. It's killing me.
Not to get off subject of our off subject, but like, I'm kind of surprised they're killing G.I. Joe this year. With the book has been fucking successful.
Mm-hmm.
The book is kind of goofy. It's pretty fucking goofy, but it's been really successful.
Well,
like financially.
9/11's coming up, and any year with 9/11's a year for G.I. Joe. I'm just saying, you know.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't
America,
know.
that's what that means.
Yeah, but like the thing, like I think it's outselling all their other books. And for them to be riding the comic wave so bad with toys right now, I'd be surprised if they stuck to their guns on calling it quits for G.I. Joe. I'll be honest.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, who's buying the book? I mean, people our age.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, how many of those sets? I haven't been to Toys R Us since I left my other job, but just because it's not convenient anymore. But how many of those sets are still probably sitting around those 3-pack?
Plenty.
Yeah, but you know what the problem with those 3-packs are? They're almost none of them are. Well, no, none of them are new characters. Like I was glad to find this Snow Job set because I wasn't into collecting them back when he came out. Same with Low Light, that was awesome, and to get the figure when it the original release now was ridiculous. So those sets were awesome. But for your average G.I. Joe collector and stuff, like, nobody gives a shit about most of those sets. Like, how many times do you need that Baroness or that Beachhead?
Yeah.
I have that Beachhead. I would love to have the 2 Cobra Troopers, but at least a third of that cost goes to the Beachhead. Well, yeah, I saw your review on that. I'd like to have one of those Cobra Troopers. But, generally speaking, I'd love to have the troop building Cobra Troopers.
Right.
I don't need that freaking Beachhead again. I really don't, and I don't want Beachhead. So it's a pass. The same thing goes for the Heat Viper. Like, I'd love the Heat Viper, but I don't want another Blowtorch. I have Blowtorch. I don't need another one that's exactly the same in every single way as the one I already own. So, why would I buy that? And, if I guarantee you those sets would not be sitting there if it was like a 3-pack of Cobra Troops only. No named character, 3-pack of just the Troopers.
All right, just real quick, I've been trying to Google that other show you're talking about, Greg, and I'm not getting anything, but I did find a wiki page for Visionaries where they have all the quotes for all the characters.
I thought you said the Ricky page for a second.
No, Eric Barbie. No, it's
I'm gonna try to find that.
Yeah, Lee Ulrich, who was the guy who turned into the Blue Line. So they would hold their staff and they wave it back and forth, and they would say, "Whispered secrets of a shattered age. I summon you, renew the sage."
Say it in your Korean voice.
Okay. Whispered secrets of shattered age. I summon you, renew this rage. Oh, hell no, Korea.
That was much better. And all their staffs have Kim Jong-il on them.
Here's a perfect one for Dr. Evil because he was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I didn't pay attention until I realized what was going on, and I'm sorry I missed it.
By what creeps, what crawls, by what does not, let all that grows reseed and rot, guys, okay? Wonderful. For $1 million. That was Darkstorm, who was a bad guy.
Those Visionary figures were cool. They didn't do much, but it was kind of the first action figure back then that didn't do much, but was cool. And now it's almost like not in Transformers, but in regular action figures, it's almost like the less they do, the better the figures are. But if you got the wind up slap punch, it's oh, this thing is gonna suck.
Supernaturals.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, now you're gonna make me. Was that a TV show? God damn it, I gotta go.
I don't know if it was a TV show. I just remember I had a bunch of the toys when I was little because they were pretty awesome.
Yeah, because they all were they look. I don't even know how to describe it. They were when you juice an orange, you got half of it all crumbled up. That's kind of what their bodies look like, and then they had the little sticker on the inside.
Yeah, they had a Thor looking guy, and then he took it off, and he had a lion. Hologram chest thing going on. It was cool. They had a weird Chevy Nova car. It was pretty awesome.
Wow, that's some unique shit. Oh
they had a castle that the entrance was a coffin that you turned something on it, and the coffin spit the character into the inside castle. Pretty awesome. Sort of knockoff Castle Grayskull.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, the Google image that shit. Supernatural's Tomb of Doom. It's,
I gotta look that up.
I was a sucker for like hologram shit when I was a kid.
yeah, it was
Like,
nifty to see that on a toy.
What was that? And it wasn't really a hologram. It was more like something you get out of a box of Cracker Jacks. But what was that G.I. Joe character, Crystal Ball? Like, I don't remember anything of that motherfucker. I don't remember him in the show or anything. But man, I fucking love that figure.
I remember like one of my major accomplishments as a kid was saving up all the pieces I need to order the fridge G.I. Joe figure.
Oh, I had the fridge.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, good shit. Fucking love that guy.
Did you open it?
Damn right, I opened it. Yum.
Yeah, not you. Sorry.
Hold on one second. My kid is fighting, going to sleep. It seems. Let me go lay down some law real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep. By lay down the law, he means hand out the Xanax.
Come on, drink this NyQuil. You're gonna feel great. No, the monsters. Chloroform. You're horrible, but funny.
Oh. Okay, Zoe, I'm on the phone. Sorry, I just got home and my dog thinks I've been gone for 15 days. Zoe Beans. Inhumanoids, huh? Or natural.
Yeah, Supernaturals. Careful how you Google search it. Make sure you put in 1980 show Supernaturals, and then you'll get the actual toy line. Because if not, you'll just get Supernatural.
Yeah.
CW.
I don't even remember what the question was that we were really supposed to be discussing. Does anybody know?
We were talking about
reissuing of license. Do you think you'll see more crossovers with Mask or G.I. Joe?
Oh,
and also,
okay, right.
And then the other part that we haven't really talked about yet is how many repaints of Optimus are we going to get?
As many as they can. Orange one is Jinrai.
I would imagine you'll at least get the standard 3, in some way. Yeah, you're at least going to get those. Add in Motormaster, that's 4. I would say let's take a bet. Let's take a bet.
What
for
are your
2000?
Are you considering the standard 3? Oh, never mind. Nemesis, Magnus, and okay, never mind.
Well, see, Nemesis this time's a little tough to say if we're gonna get. I mean, I suppose it'll probably it'll happen. Yeah, because they'll still have Optimus's head on it. You're right.
Exactly. Now let's take a round table. We'll put it on the air. We'll put it fucking in stone. How many uses of this mold total, including Motormaster, are we going to get in 2015?
Just 2015, or like
entirely.
You got to think about Comic-Con and.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 2015. That will encompass Comic-Con. That'll encompass BotCon of. Yeah, let's do this year because we'll have to put a cap on it. I tell you what. Let's do 2 years. Let's do 2 years.
That might be TFCC.
2 years ago, Cabana Wars.
So
wow.
No. Are you listening?
No.
Because
he admitted.
Totally
because they could put out that motherfucker as purple as a bathing ape fucking thing and have nothing to do with mining.
Oh yeah, or it could be Shattered Glass Optimus Prime.
Exactly.
Toxitron.
So let's say January 1, 2017.
All right, so that's 2 BotCon. No, 1 bot. No, 2 BotCons. 2 BotCons. Yeah. So that's at least 4 from them. I'm gonna say. No, let's be conservative. 3. We got that. We're gonna get the 3 repaints. Do we want to? Are we counting only Hasbro related, or can we go? I mean, not like Takara's version of that. But like
you can use exactly. If it's Takara, but it's like the gold version.
Yeah. Lucky draw. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're up to what?
Lucky draw.
I'm gonna go cushion it and say 12.
Wow.
Because Thug Life.
I'm gonna shoot a little low. I'm gonna go with 9.
Are you sandbagging there? Are we going by Spades rules?
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with sandbagging. I was gonna go
43.
I was gonna go with 12 also, but since Oscar did it, I'm gonna go with a round 10, round number 10.
I'm trying to say 12.
1 Optimus Prime, Bob.
And Antoine's gonna buy every single one of them.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you are.
You're gonna surround your Skybite with them.
You gotta draw a little air bubble that goes, "Hey, which one of you motherfuckers want a menthol cigarette?"
No, just an air bubble. Just an air bubble that says, "Can I get one?"
So let me alter this question a little and say, what does everybody think is going to be the worst repaint of Optimus Prime we're going to get? Like the worst rendition. Whatever it is it going to be.
Translucent.
Translucent? Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to say Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to fuck that up somehow. I don't know how, but they are.
I don't know. Oh yeah, what was it? The Optimus Primal. Somebody made Optimus Primal out of that.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they did an Optimus Primal paint job on it.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't, just because of like the length of the arms and
So
everything.
they would
really wouldn't.
They would take Motormaster, slap on some white and blue, and that's it, because that's an Optimus Primal paint deco.
Yep, with the Prime head.
Well, I'm thinking. I don't know if they would put this much into it because it is current Hasbro, but if they took away the combiner tooling, and used that mass and like cover that up with like some wings and try to call it like an optimal Optimus.
Oh Lord!
God, these are such bad ideas that I know are going to happen.
I can see the club doing it.
Yep, I can see someone from Hasbro listening to our podcast going, come on, give me more. This is gonna save my job, man. Amazing.
So what are you going with, Greg?
Seeing, I'd say I'll say we're including Motormaster, right?
Yes.
Not just a version of Prime.
Correct.
I'll say 7.
Okay.
I'll say 8. I'll say 8.
We need like a dedicated listener. So Yule or Fear Corpse or Robert. One of you guys.
Yeah. Let's make it Robert so we can make it all legal and shit.
Or Matt Baldwin, who we know will have all of them. So.
Yeah, that's true too.
Look, guys, they're only 25. Y'all were wrong. I win the
Put it in your phone as a reminder for January 1, 2017.
Oh, well, use technology, but that strikes Matt out right there.
Yeah, Matt's done.
You ever heard of copy and paste? I heard of hell Hasbro, son of a bitch.
Justin, I can't copy and paste it when it's on a computer.
Now, excuse me, I have to go back to my Geek Squad job.
I got to reconfigure this guy's memory, man. I can't copy and paste on this.
You come back, he printed it off and pasted it to the screen.
Man, you guys are hateful.
Oh no, you missed the early bit. I got it out for Matt this episode. All in good fun.
Yeah, I just realized what was missing. I was like, man, Matt's being quiet. Like I figured he was like away from the computer or something.
Yeah, no,
I was like, oh shit, it's not on.
He was riding my Tetra Jets pretty hard while I was away, so I'm
wow.
Prime as Batman.
I'm coming. It's B for Vendetta tonight. They
do kind of look like the tips of little pointy penises, so I could see him riding those pretty hard.
All right, I think that about covers Mr. Long. John, I fuck with you, buddy, but I can't get into politic talk with you because we just don't see things the same way. So don't take it personal. My little comment earlier, I still like you.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I hear you. It would probably help if you weren't from Bergen. Whatever. With all that, this is from Comic Book Dork. With all of the talk of North Korea, with all the talk of Oscar.
Yeah. What's wrong with North Korea?
Vladimir Putin and the torture allegations of the Bush administration heating up in the media. The real question is, how hot is Matt's mom, and which Transformer do you think would she hook up with first?
In the modern Russia, we have not Optimus Prime, we have Pessimistic Prime. He is a hearse.
Pessimistic Prime.
Matthew Baldwin's mother makes lots of the sexy time with him. It's very nice.
Well, first of all, we prefer to talk about Matt Baldwin's sister.
Yes, but not in Russia, though. We do not care. You Americans are lazy and scary.
Oh, well, if it's Matt Baldwin's sister, she'd probably go for Black Optimus Prime.
Well, I was going to say Jazz.
She would have sex with Russia's #1 hero, Scourge. Yes. Troop builder.
Probably going to go with Jazz or Blaster.
I have no horse in this game.
Because she's all about that bass.
Because you are cow.
Every once in a while, she has a horse in the game. So you should use that Google search. Turn safe search off, and you'll see what I mean.
All right, the old famous question, and we can do this one round table. What do you guys think should be the next masterpiece Transformers? Of course, it has to be Decepticons. There's too many Autobots in my collection, and Fans Toys is the way to go for Masterpiece Dinobots, but which other companies are doing a better job of it? Okay, so I don't think anybody...
To make another Autobot masterpiece, we will obliterate them like Sony.
I'm not exactly sure what he means by doing a better job of Fans Toys Dinobots. Are we all in agreement that nobody's doing that better presently?
Yep. Fans Toys?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. My second place is I don't think there is a second place yet. I guess it would be Fans Project, but I haven't been overly impressed with the two of them either. I'm interested to see what the other companies do, but I think Fans Toys is like the clear and present winner. But let's go around with the Decepticon masterpiece that you would like to see next. Oscar.
Would have to be... I'd like to see a Galvatron. Megatron had his chance, and he came with free Cosmic Rust, so...
Right.
You know.
Right.
So that's a hard one. I can't just give one answer. If we're gonna do season 1, like if I'm gonna round out my Decepticons, like I'd like a Reflector.
Velociraptor.
But if we're gonna be going the way that I think, hopefully the rumors are going, I'd love to see some season 3 and movie Decepticons. Like I'd like to get a Galvatron, a Cyclonus, and a Scourge next year. Triple changers, man. Like pretty much, I'll be honest with you. Really, any Decepticon, because there were so few Decepticons that didn't combine.
Yeah.
That, like, you could really make any of them, and it would be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually had this discussion with a guy at work today. He was he found some of his old Transformers, and we were talking. He was like, "Yeah, it's like the Decepticons. There were way more Decepticons than Autobots." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, they had all the combiners." I'm like, "That's all they had."
Exactly. And they were almost matched with that 1-for-1.
Yeah, almost. I was having a hard time remembering. We were going through the list. I mean, the Decepticons have them. They definitely got the upper hand with combiners. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Antoine.
A masterpiece Blitzwing. That'd be nice.
I hear you. T2RX6.
It has to be Decepticons, we said?
Yes.
Then I do want to see Galvatron just so I can have something that goes with Rodimus. But that is only for that reason, not because I necessarily feel I need Rodimus or Galvatron. Although I do. The one I'm gonna, Reflector was a good option, but I'm gonna throw one out there. The Insecticons.
Ooh.
I think we could get some pretty interesting things going on with some masterpiece scaled, like car-sized Insecticons.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Well,
Wow.
and they're doing Legends Insecticons. They're re-releasing
That's true.
the season 1 Insecticons.
Mm-hmm.
That
I would like
be
to see.
nice. I
How
would
many
love.
Masterpieces did we get this year?
Well, that's a good question. We got. Did we just get? We got Wheeljack.
We got Bumblebee.
We got Bumblebee.
Magnus is on his way out, so I don't know if we want to count him or not because he's not.
Let's see when he hits. Let's see when he hits stateside.
Yeah.
What fucking re-releases did we get? Like, was it the Silver Blue Streak that came out this year?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We got the G2
No, we got-
Sideswipe this year, right?
Yeah.
We got 2 of their Datsuns, didn't we? Didn't we get Smokescreen? Didn't he
That was
come
last
after?
year.
Was
I
it?
think. Yeah, that was last year. But we did get Sound Blaster and Rat Bat.
Yeah.
We got a re-release of Starscream.
We got Sunstorm. And we got
And
American Prowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just thinking about new molds because I'm trying to think like if they they seem to be
new
stepping their
molds?
game. Well, no, it's not. Sorry, I take that back.
Okay.
Not new molds. New releases
Okay, like new character
that
made.
aren't
Yeah, I
not
got you.
counting. Yeah, not counting
I got
not counting Prowl and Prowl.
Right, I got you.
Smokescreen was this year.
Oh, it was?
He was
it
11
was.
months ago. Yeah.
Okay, so Smokescreen. I think we should count Silver Blue Streak.
Yeah.
We can count U.S. Prowl, Sunstorm.
G2 Sideswipe.
Yeah, G2 Sideswipe.
Sound Blaster and Rat Bat.
When did Soundwave hit?
That was January of the year before.
Yep.
Okay.
So my question being now, the whole reason I just wanted to think about that for a minute. So would you see them? Could you see them doing 3, 6 masterpieces next year?
Yeah,
or at least starting them.
Especially if it was like if we get like some redecos out of the Bumblebee, I would imagine we're gonna get Exhaust.
Soundwave is also a year old, according to most reviews of the masterpiece. He's a year old now. So the U.S. one probably came out.
The U.S. one came out last summer, not the summer that just passed, but the summer before.
Yeah, the U.S. one came out Comic-Con last year.
Because Greg, like, it was a big, like, we ordered it for Jaina's birthday.
You're right. I was looking at YouTube to try to figure out the times on things here, and they only show 1 year, even if it's closer to 2 at that point.
Gotcha.
So that's why I'm sorry. My apologies.
No worries.
Clear the goddamn text box, okay?
No, only reason why I'm all over that is because that was a big fucking night. That night that Greg stayed up, like, we're clicking on it every 2 seconds to refresh to see if he went up for pre-order.
And eventually, I just went and I woke up every hour. I slept on the couch and like my alarm, and I woke up every hour on the hour checking it so Bobby could get one.
Yeah, because I wanted one for Jaina.
And I was still at that store that morning. I was still at Toys R Us that morning because that was supposed to be the day it dropped in the store, and I was there looking to get one for.
Yeah, I went too. That's where I bumped into that fucking dickhead with the Soundwave shirt. I hope he's listening. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, because I ran fucking dickhead too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he blew by me, and I was talking to the cashier, and like she was looking up the computer, and I'm like, they don't have them. And it was like, yeah, he was wearing a big Decepticon shirt, fucking hat, and I was like, yeah, they don't have it. And he looked at me like fucking, like, who the fuck are you? Then he looked at me with that like fucking skeptical African kid look, like I was trying to pull something, and then he broke out into a fucking trot, like I was trying to go up the trail.
So and I think Fans Project has proven that they could get 3 repaints out of those Insecticons if they with a little retooling.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go in on those, and I would get rid of all my Fans Project Insecticons in a second. Fans Project is inching his way towards the chopping block for me. They're starting to piss me off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. They put out one of my favorite figures of the year this year, which is Revolver, but they are starting to piss me off. Anyway, I would go with Reflector or the Insecticons. At first, I was all Reflector, but now those Insecticons are sounding pretty good to me too.
You're welcome.
But at the same time, I'm with most of the guys here. Like, I would just about take any fucking main character Decepticon because, like, my Decepticon shelves. I mean, it looks like the Autobots better never fucking find them because they would just demolish them.
Let me tell you what I do. So I keep Generation Splitswing, and he's not even standing up. He's laying on the very bottom shelf, just laying down. There's nothing down there because the cats and dogs can get to it. And like whenever I get a couple of Autobots and I haven't gotten a Decepticon in a while, I'll take Blitzwing and I'll put him up on one of my Decepticon shelves to make it look like there's more. And then, like, as soon as I get another Decepticon, I put him back down on the bottom shelf. I can't sell them. It's like nobody's going to fucking buy them. And I don't have access to guns and explosive chemicals like some people do. So.
I will do another roundtable discussion. This is Andrew. He's got a 2-parter. He's a good dude, by the way. Shout out to Andrew. What will make more money at the box office in 2015, Star Wars or Avengers? And we'll start with Antoine says Star Wars. Greg.
Yeah, that's going to be a.
No question, Star Wars. No question.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a tight one because you've got. I mean, Avengers. That's a hot property now. Like Marvel's getting out there. I think they're going to be like Captain America and what was that fucking horrible Transformers. I couldn't remember it for a second. I was like, something bad happened to me this year, and I can't put my finger on it. It's like,
to infinity and beyond for the Allspark.
Well, hold on. There's another fucking movie coming out. Like, what else is coming out next year? Oh, Friday the 13th Part 2. It's gonna that's gonna get some of that coin. I don't know.
They were originally BVS was slated for next year, but they pushed that back.
BB what?
Batman vs Superman.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is Jason in the snow. Have you guys seen that promo picture?
Good
It's
point.
Jason wearing that fucking orange snow jacket. I thought it was a little Photoshop, but it's an official.
Is he cold? Is he chilly?
I don't know.
Is he a little chilly?
It's so cold. Get this goddamn jet off my arm. Who's going to hell when they die? I mean, this guy. I'm alright with that.
What do you think, Oscar? What do you think, Oscar, for Star Wars?
You know, I really want that Avengers movie to fucking do good. But I'm thinking the Star Wars are gonna go out in drones to see it, and then after Nerd Rage settles down, I think I'm pretty sure. I can't even make a call.
Wait, does Guardians 2 come out next year, or is that 16? I was gonna say that because that would really. Oh, Guardians is the fucking movie. Actually, I was trying to think of. Guardians is the one that fucking was up there. Like,
yeah, Guardians ended up cleaning up, I think.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that film was going to tank because no one ever heard of them.
Yeah, but it was a word of mouth thing. It just got around.
Mm-hmm.
And it was excellent.
And it was a Marvel comic movie, which right now Marvel's almost can do no wrong in terms.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You know,
even when they do wrong.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I got my Dancing Groot pop vinyl today from Entertainment Earth.
Nice. What about you, Justin? What do you think?
you know what? I honestly think that it's going to go to Avengers just because of the hotness of Marvel, and I think that honestly, I think the original or the quote unquote new trilogy 1, 2, 3.
Uh-huh.
I think some of the people it's left a stale taste in their mouth, so it's going to have to be a good movie to get people to be excited to go see 7 or 8 and 9, so, and I just think they're going to be riding. Marvel's still going to, as long as someone doesn't put out some really really bad superhero movie in the meantime that draws attention from superhero movies, I'm going to give it to Avengers. So
I'm going to go Star Wars, just on the strength of I've never seen a teaser premiere by itself in a fucking movie theater before. That's some new shit to me. Where people are going to the movies to go see a teaser, and then after your 30 seconds, you go the fuck home. That's fucking mind-blowingly crazy, and the fucking the records that it smashed. I think that it's gonna clean house. Personally.
I think it's gonna be close. Go for it, Greg.
Oh, I was just gonna say the clear winner of that battle though is gonna be Hasbro, because who owns the fucking rights to both those storylines?
Yep.
Which surprises me. It surprises me that they have the rights to both of them, but
Yep. Me too.
Monopoly.
The clear winner is Disney because it doesn't really freaking matter which one cleans up.
And Disney Disney's not really vested in either. Do you know what I mean? They bought them both, but they're already paying for themselves. Even if the movies all go away tomorrow, it still keeps paying for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Disney's obviously the clear winner. Okay, and his other part was Alpha Bravo aside, but with Combiner Wars, isn't it nice to see classic characters on the shelf in non-movie years, even if you won't be buying it? What characters did you love seeing in the store as a kid? And we'll go around and we'll start with Justin this time.
No, it's not, because in my story it's still freaking Age of Extinction crap. I don't see anything except things that nobody wants.
Dude, you gotta get a slap action snarl.
Apparently that's the only way I'm going to see anything new, aside from RID, but I think that's Toys R Us operating on a fluke, because when I went back again, they didn't have any. So,
slap action snarl, slap the fuck out of you.
Yeah. But, I guess it's cool, to see G1 stuff, but it's not the same to me. It's still not the same as seeing all the toys when I was little. And it's really hard for me to give an answer for the question of, what did I like to see? Because, honestly, from what I remember of being a kid, like almost everything was, for many many years, like just like you said, Ninja Turtles does now. Like you can go in and you can still get the original four turtles. Like I remember for years being able to see G1 Optimus Prime on the shelf. I think up until like Power Master dropped, you could find G1 Optimus. So it's totally different. I mean, I would like to say, yeah, I'd love to see Silverbolt, but I feel like I'll see him once and then I'll never see him again. So,
Greg for Mercy.
It's actually the exact opposite of what he says. He's like, isn't it cool to see classic characters if you're not going to buy them? No, it pisses me the fuck off because it's another fucking round of these fucking characters that are going to suck. And it's like, fuck, they're not going to try that again for 3 years.
Yeah.
But I did get that Power Glide today. I haven't opened them yet, so we'll because I just got home. But I'll check them out and see how I like it. But I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's cool to like I guess like have kids today be able to like the characters like they can relate. Like it's not like it's a whole different thing. Like I'm watching some kids fucking play. I'm like, the fuck's Frozen? Like
Yeah.
Even though he fucking turns into a chest plate, he's still fucking, Power Glide or whatever. I mean,
yeah, and
like I remember back in my day, Power Glide used to kidnap fucking girls.
Some sort of gunnish thing.
Yeah, I remember Power Glide had a rich bitch.
Yeah, and a heart.
Oh, and when I was a kid, I loved seeing everything because it didn't really fucking matter to me.
Yep.
I mean, anything was a score for me. I was going to get something. I mean, if I was going to get something, I was going to get something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I was excited. I was the kid. And, Bobby, you can relate to this, I think, more so than everybody else. Maybe not. But when they did that New Adventures of He-Man, I went to the store wanting a Skeletor. And they didn't have Skeletor, but they had fucking Slushhead. And I was fucking psyched about that. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had a Slushhead.
I don't know who the fuck he is, but fuck yeah.
I was like, there's fucking water in it? Sweet. Bonus. Yeah. What about you, Antoine? What do you feel about this? I mean, you got yours from fucking Robot Kingdom, so you're vested for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Besides that and the R&D stuff, I mean, my Target only had the AOE stuff, and they just now got the Roadbuster and Skybite.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I mean, my favorite thing to go see in the store was the whole G1 Devastator set, and I really wanted that.
That was a bottom shelf toy.
Yeah,
those bottom shelf toys were a motherfucker.
And I
already fucking knew it was going to be a pain in the dick to try to sell that one off. You you walk in, it's like fucking all this shit is awesome. Fucking Devastator, Batcave, fucking Turtle Lair. I'm not going home with any of this shit.
There's a stack of fucking G.I. Joe. What was that? Sandcrawler fucking battle base, fucking stacked to the ceiling.
Yeah. That was that bottom shelf. That shit started at like $49.99. You were like, "Fuck."
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was I don't really. I mean, I guess it's cool to have those characters, but like I just watched Piau's review of all of them, and they look like shit. They look better. I thought they looked better before. Like the legs look stupid. They look skinny. It just looks weird. It's bizarre. It's such a little nasty little thing they've created. I mean, better that than Minicon combiners. So that I agree in that sense, but I don't know. It's just not good. It's not. To me, I can't get past it, and people seem to be getting more excited about it, and like I might buy them, I might get them just to take a look at them, fuck around with them, get rid of them, or maybe use them for 2016's first video of the year. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's it's better than having Minicon combiners, but it ain't what I want. And the only really memory I have as a kid with Transformers, like in the store, like a vivid memory, was I remember walking into this like fucking bootleg ass toy store that my grandmother used to take me to. That was near her house. That was like, it was like one of those toy stores that had like puzzles. It was like a big puzzle store, the type. Lots of little like Lots of little puzzles, and like you're like, as a kid, you're like, fuck, there's gonna be nothing for me in here. And no, I don't want a fucking bag of Jacks. And they had the whole fucking Terracon set, and she got them all for me.
Aww.
And that's like the only like real like crystal clear vivid memory I have of Transformers in the toy store. Then fucking the Devastator set too. My dad bought me that because I bit 2 holes through my tongue and didn't cry. I don't want a monkey bars. I fell off the monkey bars and I bit 2 holes through my tongue and didn't cry. And he like took me to the toy store and he was like, "Do you know why we're going here today, son?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "'Cause you showed some real grit today."
So I'm going to buy you a doll. We'll soften you up real quick.
Shows you
Surely.
You showed some real grit today, boy. Okay, so the next one. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oscar. What do you think will make more money? Oh, you answered that one, right? Alpha Bravo aside, what Combiner is it nice to see? Do you feel like it's nice to see Combiner Wars classic characters on the shelf in a non-movie year, even if you won't be buying it?
I mentioned I will be buying the aerial bots because we have Vortex as a foot. Nevertheless, I think it is nice. Maybe someone will get a taste for it, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, look at this company TFC over here," and then they'll start buying that shit too.
And
shout out to my neighbor's son who decides to hide from his dad smoking outside my fucking window.
Awesome. Yeah, I like him already. What characters did you love seeing in the store as a kid?
I always like seeing the combiners because, if they were a limb, they were always cheaper than they were if you bought the core. So, whenever I'd sit there and my dad would make me work like a dog at his store, he'd be like, "Okay, well, which one you want?" There'd be like this awesome little fucking Chinese store owner right next door to this, the bodega he worked at as a fucking butcher. We walk in there and I'd be like, "I want the ones that marry together." And he'd be like, "Oh, we have a decent right here." So there would always be fucking different limbs and shit like that. So I actually get excited for seeing the aerial bots because they were jets and jets are cool and they combined, which is really cool, and you're a kid, you look at it, you're like, "Oh, that's awesome." Now you look at it, now you're like, "Yeah, it's kind of goofy, but I love it."
Yeah, it's a giant meth head made out of jets.
Yeah.
But yeah.
America.
The next question is, what is the most random piece of Transformers memorabilia you guys have? This is Jared. He said his is a Transformers tent from the late 80s. It's only big enough for maybe a 10-year-old.
He's lying. He still hangs out in it.
Let's go back around the opposite way. What about you, Oscar?
I still have in my tub of guns and parts is a purple Megatron Eraser I've had since I was a child.
Oh.
That's probably the second oldest item in my collection besides my G1 Tantrum.
And that is more random to you than a Optimus Prime bathrobe?
That was a birthday present, and I don't appreciate you mocking it. It's beautiful. And I look amazing in it. My sister purposely bought it one size too small to be a bitch. And even though a brother lost 20 pounds because when I stress I don't eat, she's still saying you can lose more. And that's funny because someone's pregnant again. And look who's fat. So, yeah, that's fine. I look amazing in that robe, so don't hate on it, bro. It was good enough for your video.
I got to tell a great story. My buddy Adam, when his wife was pregnant, for the first time she got pregnant, we went over there and we were in our 20s, and when your friends get pregnant, you want to fucking find out what it's like. So we were like, "Do you guys still have sex?" And they just kind of looked at each other, and then Adam looked over at me and said, "You don't put gas in a broken car." And I was like, "Holy shit!" My jaw just dropped, and my wife's jaw dropped, and his wife got upset, and Adam was like. And Adam was like, "This is fucking bullshit." If Bobby would have said it, he was like, "If Bobby would have said it, everybody would have been like, oh, he's just so provocative."
Now he's divorced.
Still happily married, 3 kids. But anyway, it's just a good story.
The end. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, what about you? What about you, Antoine? What's the most random? Besides a Robot Kingdom receipt for a Minor Wars piece.
I still have the G1 decoy Soundwave. You know, the one that came with the figures.
Yeah. I got a few decoys too. Except they're
Yeah,
all
I still
chewed up.
have one of them. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I played with those like a motherfucker when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I remember like I was thinking like, God, man, like these are awesome. Like what an idiot I was.
I love my childhood. All right.
You know, like but yeah, what about you, Greg?
I don't have anything still. I've lived a whole lot of places and got a whole lot of things since my childhood. But the most random thing I had as a kid was I had that fucking Decepticon costume thing. That fucking orange chest plate and the big purple fucking face mask thing and the gun. I don't know if you've ever seen that around, but I had that.
I know, I did. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Because there was an Autobot and a Decepticon version. And yeah, and I had a little Soundwave. He looked like a decoy, but he was a one of those zipper pull things, clipped on your zipper on your winter coat.
Yeah.
But
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I do have. I guess these aren't mine from being a kid, but I do have like some little books and stuff. Like
yeah, they don't have to be from when you were a kid.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I've got a couple of like the kids' books, like the Plague of the Insecticons and like something else that I just picked them up, just randomly saw them somewhere and got them.
What about you, Justin?
Well, let me answer for Matt first, which is definitely
Grimlock.
a Grimlock Nightlight.
Nightlight. I was thinking the same thing.
Or some Autobot shower curtains. I don't know.
Was that what they were? I didn't click on the picture. I thought they were like decorative. Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. For myself, from a kid, I still have, and I don't know exactly where it is, but I know I still have it. It was a Ultra Magnus voice changer. Like, it was a little thing shaped like Ultra Magnus, and it had a little, like, pipe at the end.
Remember that?
Yeah, you, like, flipped it up, and it was like, wow, wow, wow. You know, like, so.
Yeah.
Grandma used it at Thanksgiving to talk despite her throat cancer.
Exactly, that type of thing. So, yeah, I had that.
No, that was the thing.
I
they were
also
going
had...
back and saying that thing worked better than like actual medical devices.
I believe
like
it.
The technology in the toy.
I believe it. So, yeah, I don't know where it is, but I know I still have it. I also had, and I recently re-procured a copy, was the Sunbow, like the storybook tapes. Or, it wasn't Sunbow, I'm sorry, someone else. But, you know, the yellow storybook tapes, listen in something. I can't remember what it's called.
I remember you have a video up of that.
I do have one up there.
Such a fun fucking video. I love that shit.
And it's crazy. And yeah, so I have that, and I actually got recently, like, a couple more, actually, before I found that yellow tape again, I had some other audio tapes that I didn't know existed previously, and some Choose Your Own Adventures Transformer type books. So, I mean, they're Transformers Choose Your Own Adventure type, I guess. Not Transformer type, but, you know, whatever. You understand.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really have any from my childhood, but the most bizarre one I remember from my childhood was I had the big wheel, like I had the Transformers big wheel, and it had like the back box art like on like the like console screen of your big wheel, and then it had like a gun that you attached to it, and I used to like pretend I was shooting fucking Autobots with it.
I do recall that. I recall that.
But
I did not have it. A friend did.
yeah, and then but I don't have that shit anymore. The most kind of random thing I have now is it's not even so random. It's just rare. It's just I have the Studio Ox art book of Generation 1, which is like one of my most prized possessions of Transformers.
You and Mastermind Creations.
Yeah. Studio Ox, like the Japanese anime company, they handled called the Primitives Animation. Their animation just looks very like Gundamish and very fucking cool, and they have like one book of like their collected art, and like it goes from G1 season 1 through I think all 3 of the Japanese bits, but I could be wrong. And then in the back of the book it has like all of their like layouts for each character, not for each character, but probably for like 60% of the show characters. So it's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, and we're running out of fucking time, and we still have 3 questions, so I'm trying to get through these. Our good friend. I was going to say this for last, but I got to get off this page to find the other ones, and I don't want to take the time to come back. So our good friend James, who has been with us from episode 1, I believe, and here we are, 1 year down, just about, and still asking questions, and we appreciate him. What are the most fearsome, far-reaching effects of all the computer hacking? Sony was just the most notable. I'm afraid this is going to cause serious ramifications over the next 20 years. I believe the government and large money businesses will use this to make some really fucked up laws. Does anybody want to tackle that? That's like a very, that could be like a podcast. That's pretty heavy.
That's pretty ozone heavy. We talk about the Sony hack. I'm surprised no one's mentioned the Xbox Live attack made by the Lizard crew. I think their name is a Lizard Squad or something like that. A bunch of guys that basically hacked Xbox Live and knocked it offline, basically. And they promised they're going to go ahead and do some serious damage come Christmas. In the end, the FBI already has a wing for cyber terrorism. That's what they labeled.
Oh yeah, of course,
in the first
Absolutely.
place. It's up to. I don't know. I really know that these things are going to end up happening. You're going to have some really fucked up laws where, they're going to end up fucking checking in on everything you're going to be Google searching from here on out because of shit like this. Yeah. And the fucked up part is a lot of the stuff is done just for laughs. Not counting the Sony shit with fucking North Korea. That's just a immensely insecure, pudgy little girl. He's a girl, right?
Wait, who did it? I didn't understand your accent there.
The great North Korea attacked Sony because we want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Garfield. He's a great actor. But that's just that's some petty fucking shit right there. But it was of no surprise once they found out, like, oh, these are the people that hacked Sony. These are the people that leaked all these stories out and shit like that. So I mean, you're gonna have some fucked up laws being passed. Some laws that I can't really say that they might infringe on your civil rights because you're on the internet. I may be fucking wrong. I'm not an expert in politics. I'm not like all my friends on Facebook that become fucking, political experts during every presidential election. Let's go ahead and ignore the local elections as well because that's okay and hurts nobody. But, I think in the end, that's what's going to end up happening is you're going to have some fucked up laws. You're going to have Google traces. You can type in how to make a pipe bomb and you're going to get a phone call from somebody because of it, And it's unfortunate, but that's the path we're going down. And I hate to sound like a pessimist, but, that's what's going to happen. All this shit that's happening that people do just for laughs and shit like that, it's just going to go downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Again, I'm sorry I'm being the wet.
No. I mean, I don't think there's an optimistic way to really look at that. Like it's new. Like all this shit is new, and we haven't been able to keep up. Like it takes us forever to get a law passed, fucking federally anyway.
Yep.
So the amount of time that it takes to get something like that done, compared to the amount of time that these hackers can start doing fucked up shit, it's always going to be a cat and mouse game with a really, really, really overweight, like fucking. Enlarged heart kind of cat.
Yep. And the sad part is you want to talk about laws being passed. Recently here in Florida, we had the opportunity to legalize medicinal marijuana. But also what you get there is just the people looking at it just from what I call the shallow end. They're just saying, oh, they're going to legalize weed altogether. That's all they want to do. They want to be like Colorado. And then what happened is it doesn't matter how much you try to rally the young kids nowadays. The next generation is that are gonna be inheriting this world from us after we are long gone fucking worm food. This law, like it needed a 60% approval rate for it to pass. It ended up with a 56% approval rate, but yet nobody was running to get to the voting stands. But what pisses me off is about something when you see shit like that, like okay. Telling me someone, that's being given a chemo treatment is going to be in large amounts of pain. They won't be able to fucking function properly because, they don't have their medicinal marijuana. But, hey, man, Best Buy's got that fucking $3,000 TV. You got people lined up all over a fucking parking lot. We had a smidge of that enthusiasm.
Well, a buddy of mine used to say that people don't want freedom; they want more HBO channels and faster pizza delivery.
Yeah, I believe your friend just fucking hit the nail on the head.
Real quick, we had a question.
Sorry for the rant. I apologize.
No. I'm willing to tackle all those sorts of things, but it's just I think we're at like 2.5 hours right now, as it is.
Yep.
Hasbro. 2 weeks ago, we had a question on YouTube. I'm bringing it up right now. It was from Mr. Cable.
Did we answer that one guy who's been like fucking?
No.
Really trying to get his question. Okay, we can't. We're gonna
have to do it next week because it's not just one question. It's like 8 questions, and none of them are fucking short. Good show. I got a question. You may already the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Would you prefer a white? Okay, in regards to Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, would you prefer a white MP10 and then a trailer that turns into the armor of Ultra Magnus, like the Fans Project version, or the kind of all-encompassing? We have discussed this, but let's go around quick round table. We'll start with Oscar. Do you like the Ultra Magnus Takara one the way it is, or would you prefer it be 2 separate pieces that did the armor kind of thing?
I like it the way it is. I'm not gonna buy it, but I like it the way it is.
Greg.
Oh, I like it the way it is. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
And are we all kind of like? What about you, Antoine?
I like it the way it is because that's how it is in the cartoon. So.
Okay, yeah, I think that's why the 4 of us like it the way it is, and I think we all like it the way it is because that's how we always imagined it in the cartoon.
I don't.
And now we're gonna get to Justin.
I have 100% always been that I prefer the actual white robot, just because it's like exactly that's why. So, I don't know. I mean, I just think that it'd be overall cleaner. I don't think we'd have a butt flap. I think Fans Project has shown that we can make armor that looks pretty decent on a Magnus, and I think Hasbro could have done it better Hasbro Takara could have done it better, and they chose not to. So
I don't think that we need a butt flap with the way it fucking is. From the pictures I keep seeing,
I don't think so either.
Why the fuck doesn't that thing go up?
I don't think so either. But I think that I'm just saying I don't think that like a lot of
restrictions.
Right. I feel like there's less restrictions making it an armor versus what they did. But I mean, like Citizen Stack, I like 90% of how he turned out, and he's a good figure. And I really hope that I do like Ultra Magnus, but I would really want the white bot underneath. And it's not even that I'm gonna ever display it. I just want it there. Right. So.
Lastly, we're not going to answer these, but I am going to address this individual because he did take the time to write a pretty lengthy email to us that we do appreciate because he was like, he's definitely digging the show, which is, the fucking point. But to Manuel, or I'm not the most ethnically
Pablo.
Racist.
Here it is. You have asked a lot of questions, and they are good questions. We have answered most of them before, but they are good enough questions where I think it would be worth answering them again for any potential new listeners. However, they are lengthy questions, or lengthy answers. So we're not going to answer them tonight. We will add them to next week's show and answer them then. But thank you for writing us, and we definitely will answer them. I fucking even emailed you and said we will answer them tonight, and we've made a liar out of me. But I apologize.
I think Bobby hates more than Latinos. It's telling the truth.
Oh, God.
You son of a bitch. I fucking knew it.
But anyway, we will definitely answer you. We appreciate your question. We just don't have the fucking time tonight. As you're looking at your fucking counter right now, wondering when this shit's going to be over, we're wrapping it up now. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Oscar.
So, oh, God. Oh.
Should have a cigarette with a neighbor kid, huh?
I took his. But anyway, shout outs goes out to our good friends over at Field Corps on Twitter, The Chosen Prime, Kuma Style, Dubk Toys, I Am Ratchet, Third Party TF Crafters, We Love You, Yule, and TF Prototype at Dubk Toys. We already mentioned them anyway. So as always, you can check us out by Googling Shattered Cast Uncut. You can see we'll have an Instagram. We have a freaking Tumblr. We have freaking Twitter. Twitter's misspelled, but you'll find it. Nevertheless, as always, on behalf of me and other members of the Sinister Six, we want you for the sake of Primus, please collect responsibly. And remember, take care of yourselves and each other.
You've been shattered.
Bazinga.